Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar. Very excited to have all of you here. Since we all gather around the asset talent search and a lot of fun questions being asked to our children, this time we thought we'll flip the table a bit, and parents, you need to answer questions. Okay, I'm Siddharth. I work with GenWise and Gifted World and collaborate with EI on many things. So for today, let me just get my slideshow started. And we'd like you to try and answer some questions. Okay, so let's start. So here's a fun question, and you can just respond in the Q&A section or in the chat, right? Oh, wow, kids are also welcome to answer. Yes. So Rhythm and Tanishq, yes, you're welcome to answer. But do ask your parents this year, right? Note it down later and trouble your parents. So here's the question. If you have an A4 sheet of paper, mine's back there, I'll go get it. And you drew the solar system to scale with the sun on one corner and Neptune on the other corner. It's very sad Pluto is not a part of the solar system. It's okay, we have to deal with it. How big will the sun be? You can raise your hand if you want to give me an answer. And just unmute and speak. But how big will the sun be?
Yeah, the sun will be in the size of a coin, if I'm right.
Okay, cool. We have one vote for coin. Anyone else? So remember, this is the solar system to scale. Okay, just like you have maps that are to scale, right? Except that don't look at normal world maps. They're really not to scale. Greenland is not the size of Africa. It's just a horrible projection. So everyone feels coin. I'm not hearing anyone feeling something other than coin. Marble?
Right.
Okay, we have another answer and so another vote for. I think the votes are coming in for mostly for coin.
Oh, mostly for coin. Yeah. So what would be the size of the sun on an... I'm going to get my A4 sheet of paper. Hold on.
Coin.
I feel like you're not appreciating how big the solar system is. Okay, so here's an A4 card of paper. Okay, hold on. Right? So this is an A4 card. Okay. And the solar system is really, really, really huge. It's so big that if the sun was here and Neptune was here, the sun would be less than the width of a human hair if you had to fit it over here. Because that's how big distances are in the solar system. And we keep seeing in books and in drawings, we'll see the sun being over here and Earth like visible, but actually nothing is visible. If I said I want to draw the solar system on this sheet of paper, I would just put a dot there, and here I drew the solar system because the rest of it's not visible. But yeah, that's okay. Now here's a simpler question. Okay, can someone try solving this? My house number has 2 digits. Okay. And exactly 3 of the following 4 statements about it are true. Okay, so one of these statements is false. The other 3 are true about my house number. What is my house number? Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to change slide.
Excuse me.
Yeah, go ahead and share what you think my house number is.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, go ahead, Ganesh.
We only have to give wrong and which is the wrong statement, or tell the house number as well.
Why don't you do both?
Hello. Yes.
Anyone has guess?
Yes.
Okay, I said Anukalp. I see Anukalp has answered.
Is it my house?
Anukalp says, yeah, 98 is the number.
Option number B is wrong.
So, oops. Basically, if it's a 2-digit house number, the statement that has to be false is 1. 1 has to be false, that it is a prime number, because it cannot be a prime number and divisible by 7. And it cannot be a prime number and be even if it is a 2-digit number. So automatically, you rule out number 1, and then you find which number has 9 in its digits, is even and is divisible by 7. That means 9 has to be the 10th digit.
No.
And that leaves you with 98 as the answer. Now, here's the funny thing. Okay, a year ago, now AI models have improved. This is what the best ChatGPT model at the time, GPT-4o, answered. Okay, it was actually worse than a coin toss. Only 1 in 4 times would it get this question right. See how
Interesting.
confidently it's answering that the house number is 91. Okay, and it did that by flipping this second statement. The statement said it should be even, but it misunderstood and flipped that second statement and said not even, and therefore concluded 91. So anyway,
It's interesting.
is that one more, or should we get started?
Yeah, I think we can start now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So while Saika is talking, you can look at this. It's fun.
Yeah. No, I just actually was trying something. Let me see if I can, because the moment you said that ChatGPT, an AI model, got it wrong, I think let me just very quickly check, because I have the paid version and I want to see if with the advanced model. Oh, wow, interesting. So let me just show you what happened. Just a second, I'll just share my screen. Yeah. You see my screen? So this very quickly, I actually took a screenshot, put it up on ChatGPT, and this is like model 5. Can you check the answer? The answer actually is wrong.
No, it's correct. 98 is the right answer.
So 98 is the correct answer?
Yeah, 98 is the correct answer.
Great. That means the reasoning now has improved.
Yeah, now it works. But a year ago, before the reasoning models were around, they weren't able to do this.
Yeah. Okay, so great. I think I wanted to welcome everyone. It was a great way to start, Siddharth. Just a second. Some technical glitch that I'm facing right now. Okay, yeah. Can you all see my screen? Because I am not able to.
I am.
Okay, cool.
We're seeing the
So we can now mute the participants, so we can go ahead and we'll be asking questions. So please do use the chat box, and of course we'll be unmuting you if you have any query, any responses. So thank you so much, Siddharth, for sharing your screen and showing us those questions. It really made the parents think and the children also think. And I love the fact that they started answering the questions. And I think this is the great way to start a webinar on giftedness, because very quickly, if you're able to reason through the questions and you're able to find the logic behind each and every option that is given to you, I think that's where the entire EI asset and EI asset talent search objective lies. So good morning, everyone. Very warm welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Saika Sultan, and I am part of the EI Asset Talent Search team. Very happy to host this conversation on connecting talented, gifted children to the global community, gifted community, and how parents can leverage EI Asset Talent Search test and the gifted enrichment programs it opens doors to help young learners, their children, thrive in this challenging world. More importantly, I think we, through asset talent search and the test and the gifted programs, we create pathways for our children to explore the potential through advanced, and we are going to talk about it when we'll talk about, we have Shield with us. So we'll talk about the advanced learning and enrichment programs and these experiences and how they shape their mind, and how it helps them find the right people, find the right questions to ask, and find the right problems to challenge themselves with, and find solutions for them. So today's session, we are going to bring exactly that entire experience to life with a special conversation with Sheel and his father, Mr. Soham Mehta. Sheel is representing India in the World Robotic Olympiad, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, World Robotic Olympiad in Singapore in November this year. So congratulations, Sheel, for that. After that, after our conversation with Sheel, I will hand it over to Siddharth. Siddharth leads the enrichment programs at Gifted World, and he designs and the enrichment programs, as well as works closely with many ATS scholars. So we're going to talk about that, and once after all of this, the last section will be on the dates, the important key details regarding the ATS test, and question and answers. If you have any, we'll be taking up your questions. So before we begin, wanted to very quickly take you through why we are here, why you are attending this webinar. And we understand EI Asset Talent Search. So the challenge, we'll talk about the challenge first. So the challenge is that many bright students, they are not completely challenged by the learning experiences in the classrooms. And many times, actually, we have parents and even schools, teachers coming back, educators coming back to us and asking us about what next. So EI Asset has helped us understand their conceptual clarity, the use of critical thinking skills, problem solving skills. It's great. But now what more can we do with our kids now that we have identified that they are really bright scholars? And this is where the EI Asset Talent Search test comes in. So what does it do? It identifies the top 15% performers in EI asset test. Once they are identified, the test is a more advanced test. It's a 2 grades above test. That is, for example, a class 6 students gives the class test, the test of class 8. And once the test is done, the top performers, the top 2% of the EI Asset Talent Search test, those students are it opens doors for them, it opens pathways for them for advanced learning and enrichment. They come in contact with like-minded children. In fact, once you take the EI ATS test, you become an ATS scholar, and that helps you. The test helps you get in touch with enrichment programs, great mentorship, mentors who help you, again, challenge yourself, apply those conceptual understandings that you have brought from classrooms, and of course, by learning by yourself, those you apply in various summer programs and the activities. Not only that, finding your tribe, right? Finding the like-minded children, people who think like you, who talk your language. So all of this entire program, in fact, I would like to use the term program for ATS. And this is precisely what it does. So this is why you're here. Your child has performed well, and you may have received information from education initiatives that your child has now qualified to take the ATS test, and precisely why you're here. You want to understand what are the logistics of it, and what will my children, what can my child learn through the test. So to tell us that exactly, we have with us Sheel and his father. And I think I just want to say that thank you so much, Sheel and Mr. Mehta, for joining us today. And I'm going to start with asking some, like, the most foundational question. And I wanted to ask you that. I know we have been conversing, but actually I have not been able to ask you this question. So Sheel, the first question to you is, what motivated you to take Asset Talent Search test? And not only that, but how did you feel when you qualified for the ATS test?
So thank you for letting me speak here. Thank you for having me.
I'm not able to.
I think
Yeah.
I enjoy taking the asset. Hello?
A bit of a lag at your end, Sheel. Yeah, can you just repeat? We just missed the first half minute of your response.
So essentially, I had seen the questions in ACID. I'd taken it in grade 5, and they were really interesting questions, very different from like the regular question, like other questions which I'd taken other tests. Seen.
Would it help Sheel if we switch off our videos? I think that might help with Sheel's.
So can you hear me? If you can hear me right now, otherwise I'll turn off my video and you can try it that way.
Yeah, I can hear you now, Sheel. Yeah, go ahead. Okay, I think Mr. Mehta, possible for you? Can we hear you speak? Because I'll just direct my questions to you. I think Sheel is facing some technical glitches.
She'll hear it. Yeah, look at this. This probably works.
Sorry, works better.
Okay, perfect.
Sorry about that. Basically,
No,
the
not at
reason
all.
I wanted to take up acid talent search was I had taken up the regular acid test in grade 5. I really liked like the different questions that were there. They're very unique. Like they were not like standard like from textbook type questions. And I wanted to take like a higher level of that kind of test. Like because like the acid questions are really interesting. I think the acid talent search questions I thought would be like a level higher, and they were. So I think I was really happy after I took the acid talent search. So yeah.
Mhm. Great. And wanted to ask Mr. Mehta that as a parent, what stood out? I mean, in terms of Shield's interests and abilities early on for you.
You mean before the test? Hello, am I audible?
Yes. Yes, you're audible, sir.
So okay, so did you mean before the test? What stood out? Like when he was younger,
Yes,
like
yes.
this?
Before the test, early on. Yeah, early on, before the test,
I see. Right.
with regards to like what stood out when it came to Shield.
Right. Well, certainly his ability to brush others' teeth, like you can see in the
I
picture.
love this picture. That's why I had to put it up.
Yes, this is my wife who snapped it at the right moment. This is not AI generated, guys. This is actual. This is actual when he was younger. Anyway, so
Some internet issues, I
that's
think.
when he could read.
We just missed the beginning part, sir. Can you just repeat because there was some lag.
Yeah, looks like the internet connection is not very good today.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Yes. Yeah. So early on, like age 3, for example, he could go and read the aisle names in the grocery store. Right. You could say fruits are here and vegetables are there. Even complex words he could read. And
Great.
and at first we thought that he just has like memorized it or something like that. But then we realized that no, that's actually not the case. But we didn't think of it much. It was okay. Thinking about, I would say about when he was not grade, he was like 6 years old. I just on a whim, I think I'd asked him some binary math at that time. My background is in STEM, so we were in the car
Okay.
and I asked him some binary math and like sitting like completely like he just solved the problem. Like I guided him and then he solved more problems after that, and it was quite
Mhm.
it was pleasant, but I was also a bit worried that like what is this happening. But some of these things were seen early in his age. Like at the same time, I think um, there is a word I think in psychology they call it, there is a split, right? Sometimes, so if you ask him to draw something, he would only draw stick figures, and he would not be able to draw anything on a piece of paper for it.
Mhm.
So yeah, I mean kids are what they are like that, and these are some of the things that I saw early for it, if that's the question.
Right. Great. Thank you so much, sir, for sharing that. Wanted to ask Sheel that so how after ATS, after the test, how did you find the right program for yourself? Tell us about the exam.
So I had taken the gifted summer program GenWise. I had a few years because I took my ATS test during the pandemic. After the pandemic ended, we looked into the different programs. My dad particularly liked the gifted program, and I also looked at some pictures. I looked at some videos, and I also looked at the different courses that were being offered, and I found them really interesting. Specifically, there was a course on economics, graph theory, and those are courses that I couldn't really take at school. And so I just looked at the courses, I looked at like the different videos, and I thought it was really interesting. So I took it up and I actually had a lot of fun. I actually then went back with one of my friends at the end of after in ninth grade. So yeah, it was really interesting to do the gifted course.
Twice you did that.
Twice, yeah.
Great. Twice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we did
Oh,
GenWise
great.
twice
So
back to back. Yeah.
that's very interesting. And so, sir, with the enrichment programs, did you see any it having an effect on Shield's school learning experience?
Shield's school learning experience. Yes, a little bit, but I think the major impact was really like it being a residential program, and like you said earlier, him finding a tribe of kids. So that was an important inflection point. Like spending 3 weeks in a very supported environment with the kind of kids that you want to hang out with, right? And in a structured program where everybody cares, it was like that made the biggest difference more than anything else, right? So
Makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, actually that makes sense. Once you, and I would go back to the word that you used, tribe. When you find like-minded people, you start feeling the connection that sometimes some at times I've seen that students miss that connection in the classroom. So great that
Yeah.
Sheil was able to find the connect with other children in the summer programs. And Sheil, I wanted to ask, same thread I wanted to pull. So during that time, what was the most like what was that time when you felt that okay, this is the right kind of challenge that I wanted to to work on, and the most standout for moment for you, if you will?
So it was, I think, the fact that I got introduced to economics and public policy at the gifted course, at the GenWise course.
Mhm.
I had never been introduced before that, but I actually like really, really liked it. Like I basically took on it like within the first 3 4 days. I'm like, this is really interesting. Part of it is also because of the teacher that was there. Like they were really interesting teachers, and like he had interesting challenges, interesting problems, very interesting discussions. So I think that was one like really interesting highlight for me that to pull from there.
Great.
He-
Okay. And one again from the same thread, I wanted to pull and ask you that this entire journey for you, like um, getting identified as a gifted learner, finding the right challenges to work on in your enrichment programs, and then, well, the World Robotics Olympiad now, international stage, global stage. So, how has this journey shaped your goals for your future?
So I think it's in like I would say two different ways. The one is like say like curriculum based, in the sense like I picked up economics there and I really, really like economics and I want to keep doing things like economics. In grade 9 I did STEM, so some things that I learned at the gifted program that helped me in robotics. And then the idea of just like doing things consistently for like a long time, like at the gifted program we had to work on making a project, and that project took like a lot of time at the program. And so that's another way it's helped me, especially in something like WRO, where last year, in this year, both years, we've like I've like it's helped like put a lot like it's helped me like put a lot into the thing, into the competition I'm doing, into other competitions as well. So I think both those parts.
Makes sense. Got it. And my question to you, sir, Mr. Mehta, that what advice would you give? There are a lot of parents in the webinar today. So, what advice would you give to parents whose children show similar curiosity and aptitude? They would
at
definitely
the
want to
risk
hear
of
it from you.
repeating, of course, at the risk of
Yeah.
repeating what you had said earlier, or what you had said, like very important to find like-minded kids. Like it is, I think the best learning is peer learning. Like it is not instructor learning; it is actually peer learning. So the sooner you can find that, the better it is. Even if it is once a year, twice a year, type thing, I think the experience is going to be very different. That's one. The other thing I think many parents struggle with, and I did as well, is where to go to find this tribe, right? Um, and very interestingly, the one big reason I think we got convinced of ATS and GenWise was because of the kind of questions in the ATS. I think many parents do not really take this seriously, but if you ever get a chance, compare the kind of questions that ATS asks and kind of questions that other tests that you might have known of asks, even IITs, for example. Right? But you will notice that IIT prep questions are really contrived and they are just made to harass your brain, while ATS questions are made to actually properly challenge it. and and that actually makes a big difference, right? Even the other private Olympiads that happen, just go check them. You will notice the questions are full of mistakes. The And it's very hard to just understand. Like I said, they're just made to harass the head, and that is not what you want the child to get and be challenged with. You want your child to be challenged in the right way, and so the AI team seems to put in a lot of effort in finding the right questions and doing everything for the right reasons in there. I think that makes a huge difference. And GenWise seems to put in a lot of effort in finding the right teachers. Even the teachers are gifted there, and I think that's an important part of the tribe. So really, that's what I would really summarize and say, like, very, very important to find the tribe and do it the right way, right? Versus just like hammering the child with something on it.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing that. Actually, I think you've kind of hit the nail right on the head when it comes to the entire journey a child takes from being identified to being nurtured in the ATS program. I think it's very relevant to exactly what you said, right? To have questions that they don't harass your brain, they don't like give too much pressure to your brain. Instead, the right kind of pressure is where you feel engaged and challenged by the question. So completely agree with you, sir, on that.
And practical
And
questions as well.
Sheel, to you, wanted to really ask that how are you feeling right now, Sheel, with representing India in the robotics Olympiad? How are you
I
feeling
think
right now
it's
about
really
it?
interesting. I, so I think it's like two different things. One is like I'm really excited just to go and see, and like one more thing, like meet other people who are over there. Like I've like even last year I'd done something similar where I'd managed to meet a lot of interesting people. Like even with like, doing robotics, you find a bunch of people who come together and then they all talk about just very many interesting things. And robotics itself is just a very interesting like topic. So I would say I'm really happy that I'm able to be in this position and just that I'm going to have the ability to meet like really interesting people a few months down the line or a month down the line.
Makes sense. Thank you. Thank you so much, Sheel and Mr. Mehta. And Sheel, best of luck for the upcoming competition. And it's a huge thing, and you're representing India. I'm so, so proud of you. And thank you so much for being here and taking the parents, asking the questions. And these were the questions that we have collated from the parents who wanted very specific nuances from you both. So thank you so much, Mr. Mehta and Sheel, for being with us. Now what I'll do is I'll hand over the stage to Siddharth. He's from the Gifted World. Just a second. Again, I think something to do with the internet today. Yeah, Siddharth, over to you. Please take us through these enrichment programs that we have been talking about.
Sure. Thanks, Saika, and thanks, Sheel and Soham. Sheel reminded me that we'd actually crossed paths 2 years ago in 2024 when I was teaching at the summer program, though I didn't teach the particular course that you went to. So, hi everyone, I'm Siddharth. I am a biologist by training, but over the last 2 years, I've really discovered that I find a lot more joy in teaching middle school than undergraduate because the school system does something where these kids who are extremely bright, extremely curious, have so much potential. By the time they show up in undergraduate classrooms, they're so disengaged, right? I used to think that, oh, what could I possibly teach middle schoolers? Right? It would be very difficult to come down to that level. But you'd be surprised to know that the foundations of nearly everything you learn is set during this period when you're 10 to 14 years old. And if you creatively think about how do concepts stack up, how do you learn different things, and what are the things that you're really using in your life, you're able to connect concepts that are being learnt in 5th or 6th grade, all the way to stuff that is happening in undergraduate life, right? So before I talk too much more, let me get my slideshow going, right? So Gifted World is a place, as Saika said, for you to find your tribe. So first of all, I wanted to say congratulations. If any of you are in this call, if you've been invited to write the asset talent search, you are already in the top 15% of students of your age in that subject, right? And the asset talent search is a diagnostic that tells you for your grade level, you're in the top 15%. But now let's give you a bigger challenge and see where are the places that you're good at, where are the places that you really work well in. And without the challenge of testing yourself at a higher level, you'll never know this answer. You cannot know this answer just from your school level examinations, because just this morning, I was, before this session, we were running from 9:30, a session of math for students in grade 7 and 8, right? This is the first session of this course. And when we asked the students, hey, what do you want to learn? And these are students from across India and the UAE, 15 of them selected just for this. They said, I think I'm learning 5th grade math when I'm in 7th grade, because that's what the curriculum looks like. I want more challenge, right? They're not able to get that in school. So let me tell you a little bit about why this happens. So before that, I just wanted to walk you through these, right? Do you relate to these sentences? School is too easy for me. I'm not challenged by it. My friends don't get excited by the same things that excite me. They don't understand what I'm talking about. I have so many questions, but my teachers just want me to stay within the textbook. Because at the end of the day, that's what the system is built for, right? To ensure that that curriculum gets completed. And so many parents tell us this, right? Especially at a younger age, this is how you often notice giftedness in a child, that they feel like they're not paying attention, but they've retained everything that has been said. Okay. I hear a lot of parents say this. And again, this is something that as early as 4 or 5 years old, it can happen, right? You can notice that this child really loves cars. They can name every car model on the street just by looking at their side profile. But you can notice that at age 4, 5, 6, it needs to be persisted with. Doesn't mean that they like cars and therefore they only learn cars, but they have to pick up a particular topic, persist with it, go through the difficult stuff as well. Then you know that they're really able to push ahead on this, right? This is a very important thing to pay attention to. And I want you to hold teachers in school accountable for it. If at the end of a school year, they say, I have no complaints about your child, tell them this is not enough. I need to know what is my child struggling with. What do they need to be challenged with? Because if you are saying this, that means you are not challenging them. There is no way that a child has already become a fully realized adult and doesn't, I mean, all of you in your professional work, you can look at your own colleagues. Nobody's a fully realized adult who doesn't need any more feedback or challenge, right? So if your teacher, if your school is not able to tell you that your child, what your child needs to improve in, what they can be challenged by, and they do that in a, and like how Soham said, right? Soham said that you look at the IIT JEE questions, especially the ones that private tuitions make, and they're all just designed to like hit your head hard, right? So the feedback should not be in that way. It shouldn't be, oh, here is something at that I did when I was an undergraduate that this kid can't do. No, like what is reasonable expectations for this child? How can you push them more? Okay. Often being gifted means that it's a jagged frontier. You're very good at some things, you're not so good at other things, right? And it takes a community that recognizes that. Often students are bullied for both, because children will be just day before yesterday, I was talking to a parent of a gifted child in Gurgaon whose child was beaten by 3 others because he is 2 grades ahead but lacking in other things, right? So this happens. Okay, and as a system, we really need to understand and help these children. So giftedness comes in very different forms, but there are many common patterns. I'm just keeping track of the time. Okay, yeah. And Gifted World is a platform that has been created by Northwestern University's Center for Talent Development, Educational Initiatives, and GenWise to help be a community space. Okay, so we are a home for curious minds around the year. We have amazing mentors who can engage at a child's level. And we help nurture students. So if you want a rough journey, at 8 to 12 years of age, a child has potential. You need to detect that potential. At 14 to 18 years of age, they need to translate that potential into achievement. Your job is to enable that, right? And finally, once they are an adult, they are going to create their own eminence. Your job is to basically keep your hands off, right? So think of this journey of a child, okay? Asset Talent Search is a real help in this because it starts from that age. It starts from grade 4, right? When you're able to detect that a child is significantly ahead of their grade level. Okay? And just because in 1 year you've seen that they're significantly ahead, it doesn't stay on, right? Suppose a talent is detected but not nurtured. There is a lot of research that shows that if by 14 or 15 years, a talented child is not nurtured, they give up. And I'll tell you why. Okay. I'm going to skip ahead a bit. Right. So a gifted child is like an incredible tennis player in training. They're able to pick up the ball, pick up a racket, and hit a solid serve across the court.
Yeah.
And you would see this because they keep asking you amazing questions, right? But if on the other side of the court, there isn't someone to hit that ball back, then you're just sad. Do a serve, nothing comes back. You do a serve, nothing comes back. You try again and again and again. And eventually you figure out that, hey, no one's interested. No one's going to send me anything back. Your brain is in a crucial stage of learning in this age window of 10 to 14, 8 to 14, right? And that's why it's continuously trying. It's continuously saying, hey, this is an idea. I want to try it. I want to learn more about it. And if they don't get the ball hit back across the net to them, that doesn't happen. But here's another scenario. You do a great service, and on the other side, there's a person of your caliber who can hit it back to you. Then that's joy. Okay? We talk about this in education as being a triangle of curiosity, challenge, and success. Curiosity, challenge, and success, right? So curiosity, you throw it across. Someone hits it back to you. There's a challenge. Okay. But to take the tennis analogy further, it's important that this person who's on the other side of the court is able to make you rally. If the person on the other side, they might be a really great tennis player, but you're just one in training. They smash the ball across to you, you have no chance of hitting it back. Does that encourage you to hit more? Maybe for a bit, but if you're never able to get a second shot in, if you're only getting your serve smashed back at you, again, you stop trying. And study after study has seen that if students who are capable of this are not put in a community of talented learners, a community that understands them, they eventually stop trying. And this is the importance of a good mentor or a good peer, that this rally happens. It doesn't matter whether you're right or wrong, you get the answer on the first try or the 10th try. It matters that this back and forth is happening, and you're having it with people who don't. There's this really bad notion in university teaching that academics have that, oh, I have to go down to the level of 8th grade and teach. No, it's honestly just that, having a rally with people who are capable of doing it. And all of you in your professional lives as professionals, you would know those good mentors who are able to come to your level. And so this is what we want to enable for our children. We want to enable them to have that success, to have those training wheels that get them there. Yeah. And in class after class, we hear students say things like this. Right? We see students who are, parents tell us that this child is very silent in school, but I joined your program and they're talking a lot. Because they found the right peers, they found the right mentors. They make many friends along the way, right? So at Gifted World, we run master classes, we run gifted online courses, and we have a talent nurturing program, which is a year-long event, right? So our courses happen in winter and in summer, and often they are all ATS registrants get a discount to access these courses, and some courses are gated to only students who have taken ATS because they have shown that they are in the top 15%. So basically we gate for ability, right? We want the course to be able to discuss more advanced topics, so we're able to do things like that, right? These courses tend to be for about 5 sessions split over 2 weekends, and that's how it works. I will just drop over to our website. I feel that that's the easiest way to show you about what happens. So, and then I will stop in exactly 2 minutes. So this is what Gifted World is. We are this platform created by Northwestern EI and GenWise. And one of the signature things that we do is these master classes, right? So for example, our upcoming session in November, Vikram is an aeronautical engineer who spent 6 years working at Boom Aerospace, which is, if some of you know, the company that is closest to achieving supersonic commercial flight. Right. So he's going to be talking to kids age 12 and above of what does it take to engineer a supersonic plane. Right. We've had past recordings on past sessions on all kinds of topics, ranging from neuroscience to design, and you can see all of these recordings on our YouTube channel. You can just search for Gifted World on YouTube, and you will find all of these recordings. These are really great ways. These master classes are designed to start from a relatively easy level and go to really challenging spaces. So do feel free to check it out for your children. We also are running a year-long talent nurturing program where students get to try out learning in physics, chemistry, mathematics, biology, and that continues through the year. In addition, we also are a place where you can learn a lot about different kinds of programs. We connect to residential programs all over the world, including GenWise's in India. There are also courses for parents and teachers. And so do check out the resources section of Gifted World. We've curated this so that you get to learn a lot more about all of this. And as I said earlier, it's not things that are very well known in the school system. So with that, I look forward to staying in touch with all of you and connecting. Please do join up. You can sign up for our emails. Every month we send a digest of all kinds of events that are happening in the gifted space. So do join in on Gifted World and you'll be able to stay in touch, and definitely register for ATS, because that opens you to a whole load of opportunities. These residential programs are nearly all gated on ATS. You need to have a score in the asset talent search to be able to enter these residential programs. Even our year-long nurturing program is for people who have taken the asset talent search, as is some of our online courses. Other online courses are available for anyone who registers for the asset talent search. Thank you.
Thank you.
Over to Saika.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much, Siddharth. Extremely important that parents understand the courses and how they help the children, especially in the journey, because usually in the regular course of things, it does not really happen when they are able to find this information. And this is where these webinars are important. And the way Siddharth said that, even we will be uploading these webinars with all of this information again on the educational website, initiatives website, and we'll be sharing the link with you as well towards the end of the webinar, so you can click on it, access all the webinars, all the information that we have shared so far. So I'll just quickly share my screen and take you through the the key details of asset talent search. So two questions I think are coming. I mean, they are common across the questions that we have received so far. Is there is no syllabus for asset talent search. It is there's no syllabus for asset talent search, and it is purely based on checking students' logical thinking skills, reasoning ability, and think of it this way, that if your child is in class, say for example, the child is in class 4 and they have been identified, discovered in the EI asset test, you have received the information. Congratulations, you have received the information that your child has qualified for the ATS test. Now, when the child takes the ATS test, they will be given a paper which is 2 grades above. That is a class 6 paper. Each question is crafted in a way that the child has all the tools to be able to apply themselves and answer the question. Also think of it as a cumulative understanding of all the concepts that the child has understood so far. That will help the child apply the understanding of the concepts they have learned so far, and apply it in the questions that have been crafted in the EI ATS test. So the best example for ATS questions, EI ATS questions, would be an asset paper. So if you have asset papers, if you can get access to asset papers from your seniors, please go ahead. These are your sample papers. Your school must be having it. Go ahead, practice on them, and that'll be enough, I think. The point is that it checks your ability, your capability of understanding the context that has been given to you in the question, and understanding it and using certain skills, that is problem solving skills, critical thinking skills, higher order thinking skills, and using those skills to be able to apply logic and eliminating options, coming to the right option. So this is a multiple choice answer question paper. Now wanted to explain to you very quickly, difference between EI Asset and EI Asset Talent Search that we call ATS. EI Asset is a diagnostic assessment from grades 3 to 10. In class 3, the child takes the paper in English, Math, Science, in English, Math, and Science, and they attempt the paper. This is once you get the report of asset, EI asset, that report tells you, it measures the conceptual understanding of the child, that so far this is what your child has understood, and this is where they stand as far as your learning progression is concerned, as well as these are your gaps that you can work on. It provides feedback to students and to schools, teachers, parents. And the top 15% performers in asset, EI asset, they qualify for the next level, this level 2, and that is ATS. Now, the top 15% performers, this is nationwide. So if your child, for example, my name is Aka Sultan, for example, my parents received an email from Education Initiatives that your child has qualified for EI ATS. What it means is that Saika in class 4 or class 8, for example, my child has received 85 percentile and above in one of the 3 subjects, English, Math, and Science. In one of the 3 subjects, my child has really high scores, that is 85 percentile and above, across the country. That is Saika at a national level. She is the top 15% performers in grade 4 in English or Math or Science, or maybe altogether all of them, and which is why I have received this invitation, because EI ATS is an invitation only test. I have been invited that my child can appear for the EI ATS test. Now, EI Asset gives feedback. EI Asset test gives you it's a diagnostic assessment, checks the cumulative understanding of the child up until the point that they are in, whichever grade that they are in. Now let's come to level 2 test. Level 1 is EI Asset. Level 2 is EI ATS, Asset Talent Search. EI ATS selects the top asset performers and identifies them as truly gifted learners. Now, once they are qualified, those children are invited to take the EI ATS test. They have qualified, they have made it to EI ATS. Now, once you register for the test, the child will give the EI ATS test in either of the 3 subjects, English, Math, or Science, or all of them. We recommend taking tests for all 3 subjects. Now, this is advanced testing, and it checks the higher order reasoning skills of the students, which is why a grade 6 child gets a grade 8 paper. A grade 4 child gets a grade 6 paper. And there is no syllabus. I will reiterate that point. There is no syllabus. It is about the cumulative understanding of all the core concepts the child has learned so far in the school and at home, in the community, whatever they have learned, they have seen, they have gathered and absorbed. And the question itself, if you open an asset paper, you will see that the questions, they give enough information for the child to apply in the options, apply the understanding in the options and choose the correct option. So EI Asset Talent Search, EI ATS, that is, it identifies gifted scholars, gifted learners. Once they are identified, you will be notified, and then that opens gateways to the enrichment programs that Siddharth was just talking about, that is in Gifted World. In the previous webinar, we talked about GenWise and the enrichment programs over there. Sheil talked about the gifted programs that he took twice. In the next webinars, in the upcoming webinars, we will be inviting our global partners, and they will be also taking us through the enrichment programs that they offer to gifted children who have qualified, who have placed, registered and placed in the top 15% of EI Asset Talent Search. So I hope that has that clarifies any confusion you may have regarding syllabus and the difference between EI Asset and EI Asset Talent Search. EI Asset discovers potential in children, and the top 15 scorers, they are invited to the EI Asset Talent Search test. So very quickly, I will just take you as to where you are right now. I'll just hide the panel. Yes. So first step, your child has already taken. Your child has written the EI Asset test. Now they have qualified, they have scored in the, so second step, they have scored in the top 15% nationwide in the asset test. Once they have scored in the, once they have been filtered and they are the top 15% scorers in asset test in their class, at a national level, they will be invited to take and register and take the EI Asset Talent Search test. And then they will write the test. Once that is done, the child scores in the top 15% of EI Asset Talent Search test. Once the child scores in the top 15% of EI ATS test, then they are invited to attend the gifted programs by some of the best mentors and teachers, advanced learning programs in the USA and India. In India, our partners are GenWise, and you have Siddharth just took us through the gifted world. Now, where are you at right now? This is where you are. You are at level 2. You have the child has appeared for the asset test. You have received the reports. You have received the information, the invitation either from the school or directly from educational initiatives that your child has qualified for the ATS test. The next step is for you to register for the ATS test, which will take place from the 28th of November till December 1st. I will take you through that. I've just explained this. I'll just go through it again very quickly. ATS is an invite-only test, and your child, they have qualified for EI ATS test, the level 2 test, because they have scored in the top 15% at the national level. They have scored 85% percentile and higher in one of the 3 subjects, English, Math, and Science. Now, Asset Talent Search test, the ATS test, the duration of each test is 60 minutes. It's a 1-hour test taken across 3 subjects. You have English, Math, and Science. Children can opt to take 1 or 2 subjects, or we recommend all 3 subjects for a 360-degree view of the child's understanding, child's level. And it's a higher level test, yes, computer-based, it is MCQ, no preparation test. There is no preparation for this test. This is where it is able to filter out, it is able to say that, yes, you are the top scorers, you are a gifted child. There's no negative marking, and the test dates are from 28th November till December 1st. Now, this is the page where it tells you important dates and registration fee. The dates are early bird fee, that is from now till November 2nd. If you register for one subject, each subject's rates are given here. The registration fee is given here. Rupees 1,700 is for one subject, 2,200 for 2 subjects, and 2,500 for all 3 subjects. From 2nd November, so that is till 2nd November is early bird fee. Now, the regular fee is applicable from if you register from 3rd November till 23rd November. In this, during this duration, if you register, then you register for all 3 subjects. That is, your regular fee is 2,700. We highly recommend that you go for 3 subjects for ATS. And then late fee. Late fee is applicable from 24th November till 30th November is where the late fee is applicable for late registration charges. It's for 3 subjects, it's 3,300 INR. So this is the website for ATS. It has all the information that you need to, it has all the facts any question that you have, the response would probably be there in the fact question here. It's ats.ei.study. Prizes for toppers for each class. So first prize is once you take the test and you are recognized you score in the 85 to 89 percentile in EIATS, then you are recognized with a bronze medal and certificate. Certificate is, of course, is common across all three categories. From 90 to 94 percentile students, if they score, they get a silver medal. And 95 to 99 percentile kids, they get a gold medal and certificate, as well as these students, the toppers, they represent the top 0.01% or less in their batch at a national level. The first prize is an iPad, second is an Apple Watch tablet, and third prize is Kindle or Apple AirPod. So being with you all the way, we each step of the way of ATS, the system compatibility check is it's taken on laptops or desktops. It's conducted, the check is conducted closer to the test dates, and the check is for your device compatibility. All the information will be sent to you once you register for the ATS test. And here it is. We are wrapping up now the webinar. This is the QR code that will take you to the registration page of EIATS test. I'll stay here for 30 seconds so that you can scan this. The registration link is available on the chat box now, as well as on the ats.ei.study website, as well as in the information emails that you may have received from either your school or from EI directly. Please contact your schools as well. They'll give you, if in case you miss out the link, then you can connect with your school, as well as you can write directly to me. I will guide you. I'll just send my email ID on the chat box. Please do scan for feedback. I think again, yeah. This is for feedback, and I will just share my email ID as well. So any queries that you may have, please, you can send it directly to me, chat, yeah. Laika.Siddhan@ei.study. Please send across any queries that you may have. And I will be responding to you directly. Thank you so much for joining this webinar, everybody. Again, I hope we were able to clarify any and all queries that you may have. Also, please do send your queries to me directly. I will respond to your message. And the webinar link to this webinar and all the information it has, it will be uploaded shortly on the Educational Initiatives official website. There are the recordings of the previous webinars there as well. Please feel free to go through it. One of the participants informed us that they were not able to hear Sheil's father's responses to some of the questions while he was speaking. All the responses have been recorded. Please go ahead and you may and check out the link to the website. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. And thank you, Siddharth. Thank you, Sheil, and thank you, Mr. Mehta.
Thanks, Saika. Thanks, everyone.
For having
Thank
us.
you. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having
Yeah.
us. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mehta. Thank you, Sheil. And best of luck, Sheil, for your upcoming competition, the Olympiad.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
thank you. Bye.